Guys, if you've never checked out Bare Naked Ladies in concert, they're on tour right now. They're well worth seeing. They're awesome. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Sun's out, guns out today. I'm back at our public library. In fact, I've just finished filming my video on different folding knife lock types, and it suddenly occurred to me, well, I could talk about brands as well. A lot of these are well-known brands, and they're all brands that to some extent I would recommend, but you know, if you're kind of wanting to know how do I choose one knife brand over another, well, maybe I can give you some insight. I guess we can talk about Victorinox, since I have a Victorinox here, and I may be mispronouncing that. They're a Swiss brand. They make Swiss Army knives. Generally, the Victorinox knives are really good, but they don't really make like hard use knives. They make, I mean, Swiss Army knife is basically a little pocket toolkit or a multi-tool. And it does work as a knife, but most of them have slip joints. As far as knives go, they're not terrific knives. They're terrific little toolkits, but they're not terrific knives. And there are exceptions. Some of the Victorinox knives are legitimately like really good knives, but most of them don't offer a locking blade, and the blades are very limited in size, so on. So Victorinox is a fine choice, but if what you need is primarily a knife for cutting things, that may not be the one, depending on what your needs are. We can talk about CRKT, which is what? Columbia River Knife and Tool. They make knives that are, in some cases, very inexpensive. They're like $10 and $15 knives, and in some cases, they make knives that are very expensive, and they make them in China, and they make them other parts of the world. I guess most of them are made in China, but they've offered them made in other countries too, other places. This one's a Pilar, pretty good one. Little pocket-sized knife. It's a sort of a compact knife. Great little everyday carry knife. For the most part, CRKT knives offer a really good value. If you order a CRKT and it's like a $15 knife, you're going to get a good knife for $15 generally. And if it's a $100 knife, it's probably going to be a pretty good knife for $100. Now, of course, the $15 knife is not as good as the $100 knife usually, but you're kind of getting what you pay for with them. I've generally had good luck. I don't like unequivocally recommend them and say, oh, anything from CRKT is great. But for the most part, they're really quite good for the money. You're probably not going to go wrong with a CRKT. Tend to work well. Kershaw is another company that offers some very inexpensive knives. They make like $20 knives, and they make $200 knives. This one's a Blur. And if I hadn't messed that up getting my finger in the way, it would have opened more smoothly. This is one of their assisted knives, and they've made this one for a long time. This one is pretty well worn, but for the most part, Kershaw knives are quite good. They make some in China, they make some in the US. Their US made knives, for the most part, are really quite good. Some of their Chinese made knives are really quite good. Some of the Chinese made knives are not great. They're $15 and $20 knives, and they kind of perform like $20 knives. They're not terrific, but they're okay. They're fine. For the most part, though, if you're buying a Kershaw, again, you're probably buying a good one, and they're known for really excellent customer service. So if your knife needs warranty work or whatever, they're really terrific. I would stay away from them. They make a tiny little assisted folder called the Chive, and those are okay if you need a tiny little knife, but they don't open really positively. When you try to flick them open, they usually get stuck halfway, and you have to use the thumb stud to open them up, or they don't lock. They're kind of mediocre, but most of the stuff from Kershaw is quite good. Spyderco. Spyderco makes really good knives, and I don't recommend them, if that makes sense. Spyderco is like the H&K of the knife world. They make really good products, but if you buy one of their products, they hate you. Their customer service is terrible. I would tend to recommend one of these bird knives. They're very inexpensive, and when you buy something that cheap, you're probably not expecting much in the way of customer service or warranty work anyway. And I've not really had Spydercos let me down that much. They tend to be good knives, but if you ever need parts for one, I tried to get parts for one of my Spydercos years ago, and it's very difficult to deal with the company. People tell me anecdotally, I've not filed a warranty claim, but they tell me that Spyderco will only warranty their knives if you buy direct from them. You have to go to their website and pay full MSRP. If you buy from Knife Center or Amazon or Blade HQ or anybody else, very reputable companies, if you buy from Cabela's, if you buy from A.G. Russell or whomever, if you're not buying directly from Spyderco, they won't honor the warranty, which is a terrible business practice as far as I'm concerned. It's one of the reasons I don't recommend Spyderco. I love these little paramilitary 3 knives, or a bunch of others too. Love these paramilitary knives. I love the military. I love the Endura. I love a bunch of Spyderco models, but I don't typically recommend them, and I don't buy a lot of them or carry them usually, even though I've had good experience with them and I like them, because the company is just difficult to deal with. Also, all the Spyderco knives have a hole in the blade for opening, or virtually all of them do. I can't think of one that's an exception. They have a hole in the blade for opening, and if you search on the web, you'll find, if you search for broken Spyderco, you'll find a bunch of them that are broken right along there because people pry with them or they put some strain on them, and these will break right where that hole is. Some people make a big deal out of that and they say, oh, Spydercos are terrible because they all have this structural flaw. Okay, that is a flaw, but it's a trade-off, you know. It makes the knife easier to open and close and keeps the weight down and so on. It does compromise strength, so don't go prying with your knife is I think the lesson there. But if that really bothers you, if you want the strongest knife possible, you probably don't want a Spyderco. If, on the other hand, you're not going to be abusing your knife, maybe a Spyderco would be okay. But because the company is just so hard to deal with, I'm reluctant to recommend their products. Let's look at Benchmade. This has been my everyday carry for a while. I got this one dirt cheap and sent it back to Benchmade. It's had a rough life, but I sent it back to Benchmade and they replaced a bunch of parts on it and sharpened it for me, and it's been a really good knife. I like Benchmades for a lot of reasons. There are some people who dislike the company because they have been known and been very public about it. They have been known to destroy firearms on behalf of their local courts up there in Oregon. When the courts order firearms destroyed, Benchmade will do that work. And a lot of people say, hey, you shouldn't be destroying firearms, it's not right. And Benchmade has said, well, the court has ordered it to happen, it's gonna happen no matter what, so we might as well do it. I'm not gonna get into that. But a lot of people dislike the company, okay? And they have raised their prices a lot recently, and a lot of people say that they're not the same quality that they used to be. They're not as good as they used to be, or they've raised their prices and cut the quality, okay, whatever. I've had really good luck with Benchmade. I like Benchmade. I don't like everything about the company, but they're really good. If you like the Benchmade product, but you wish it were higher quality, or you don't like the company itself, look at Hogue. Hogue has a lot of the same knife designers. They make similar designs. They make a bunch of them with this axis type lock. I don't think they call it that, but they make a bunch of them with the same kind of lock. And as far as I'm concerned, the ones that are made by Hogue are even better than Benchmade, and they're actually about the same money. And of course, they don't have the same politics as Benchmade, so you might look at that. I like both companies. I own and carry knives from both companies, but if you don't like Benchmade, look at Hogue. For cold steel, I still have my Kudu here. This is a really inexpensive knife from them, and it does work. I mean, it's a perfectly good knife. It's not my favorite from them. It's hard to open one-handed. But Cold Steel makes a lot of knives, and again, they make $10 knives and they make $500 knives. I'm not going to say you get what you pay for. I mean, to some extent you do. When you're buying those $300, $400, $500 Cold Steel knives, you're paying for something pretty. Does it perform better than a $100 knife? Probably not. But they are pretty, I'll say that. But Cold Steel makes some $20 and $40 and $50 knives that are a good value. They work really well. And they make some $100 knives that are pretty good value. When you get more expensive than that, I'm not sure they're worth the price of admission. They offer some that are kind of fancy and expensive, but are they really better than the less expensive knives? I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. But I do like a lot of the Cold Steel knives. Lynn Thompson sold the company a few years ago, and a lot of people have worried since then that it won't be as good a company, or that their service won't be as good, or whatever. So far, the new owners seem to be running it about the same way that Lynn Thompson did. It's fine. I still like the products. I still like the company just fine. In terms of warranty service, Case, Buck, Benchmade, K-Bar, they all have a a reputation for offering really excellent warranty service. The Kershaw reputation is really good for warranty service. I feel like I'm missing one here. Hogue has a good reputation of having had to use their warranty service. But a bunch of these companies have a really excellent reputation for taking care of you long after the sale, so you might buy on that basis. Benchmade is probably the gold standard in customer service, which is one reason I like Benchmade. But again, some people don't, and that's fine. Cold Steel is not known for terrific customer service. They're known for being kind of okay, kind of mediocre. I don't know that CRKT is known for terrific customer service. They're kind of okay. Spyderco is terrible. Their customer service is awful. It's just how it is. I've never heard of anybody having to use Victorinox customer service, but there are a bunch of companies, and you can just search on the web if you get curious if it's one that I haven't mentioned. These companies build a reputation online for either having really good customer service or mediocre or terrible or whatever. I can't think of anybody besides Spyderco that has really terrible customer service or a reputation for terrible customer service, but there's probably somebody. But yeah, so those are some of the big makers and what I think of those individual brands and companies and what you might consider when you buy a knife. Obviously, I own knives from all of these. I carry knives from all of these people. I've been reasonably happy. Again, even Spyderco, even though I really dislike the company, they make really good products. And they're inexpensive products, like the bird knife. Yeah, I would recommend these. If what you need is an inexpensive knife and you want a good value for the money, it's a really good one. If you don't mind spending a lot, Benchmade makes a really good knife. Is it worth the price that you pay? That's a matter of opinion. In most cases, I'm going to say probably not, but if you find one used at a good price, it can be a great value. A.G. Russell is not super well known, but their knives are usually their customer service is excellent, has a reputation for being excellent, and their knives are usually a pretty good value. Kershaw, I think Kershaw tends to be a terrific value. A lot of great choices here. Pick whatever you like, whatever suits you best. I wouldn't buy based primarily on brand. I'd find the knife that I like and the features that I like and just buy that. Because for the most part, all of these are pretty good brands. Some are better than others. If it came down to a similar model, either Spyderco or Benchmade, I would go with the Benchmade. If it came down to two similar models, either a Kershaw or a Benchmade, boy, they're both really good. I'd probably lean toward the Benchmade, but if the Kershaw were less money, I'd probably go with the Kershaw. Kershaw makes really good stuff. And we're two similar products, similar prices, either Kershaw or CRKT. Well, I would buy Kershaw. I like that company. I like their customer service better. But CRKT makes good stuff. I'm not going to complain about them. So there you go. There's my 2 cents on knife brands and what's in the market right now. And if you have a favorite knife brand, tell me down in the comments below. If you think I was wrong about something or I overlooked something, tell me in the comments below. Keep your knife dry.